here today as the challengers. What do we think they need to get done if they're to have a hope against Balwyn?
Well, I think the big thing for me, Brush, is they've got to bring competitive effort with their contest work. If they can do that, got to defend nice and strongly. Got to make sure with their ball transition that they can give themselves a chance to generate some score, which they haven't been able to do in more recent weeks. So for me, it's definitely related to if they can close down the midfield of ball and provide some contested ball for themselves and defend strongly. They're the key elements for them today, and that's what Steve Hughes alerted us during the pre-game. But also for ball, and it's using the ball better from defensive part of the ground, transitioning in connection, and trying to generate some more score as they've been trying to do and build on over the last few weeks.
I don't want to see Noble Park go too defensive and try and play too many blokes on matchups. They've got to play their own game, and they've got to show some flair and fluency. My main concern for them is their forward 50 set up and whether they can put enough pressure to kick a winning score this afternoon, Jared.
Indeed, and let's check in once again with Scott Hardy, see if we've got him available on the boundary line. Might have some issues with his microphone, but the game is underway. Ryan Long in here to call us in.
So back in the middle here, King's birthday weekend, two traditional rivals. Balwyn Smith with an early disposal. He's run down in tackle. Riordan got a hand to it. Inside 50 for the first time. Go Noble Park in defence. Taking the mark there is Liam McDermott for the Tigers. Switches the play. Finds Young. Was talked about in the pre-game, going to be important. Almost slipping over there was Pollux. And now he's caught and will be holding the ball. And a free kick here for Noble. Josh Stern. As the umpire gets a bit of feedback from the crowd in front of him. Healthy crowd out here today, we hope.
Yeah, it's a good crowd coming in.
Obviously, a lot of people go away for the weekend, but this will
All
be the
footy fans are here.
That's right, and this would be the perfect start for Noble Park if Stern can put this one through. It'll be a tough angle. And we're right in front of this one. Kick is just to the right, so just a minor score, but Noble Park strike first, one behind, Balwyn yet to score.
Not a bad effort there from Josh Stern, especially winning the free kick for a pretty tenacious tackle on the in today for Balwyn, Josh Pollux. As we are waiting on the ball to come back in. Assessing his options here is Young. He's going to go out to the near side, setting himself at the back was that was Silvani, but McDonald wins the ball, bouncing kick towards Smith, however, who cut it off. Chain of handballs for Balwyn, able to work it out. McDermott hits up a man in Clark, sharing it round. Had to dodge one there, had to dodge around Riordan, but got the kick away, and the mark's been taken by Flynn Marshall on senior debut today. Kicks it towards centre half forward, knocked over was Anderson. Bit of a scrap there, but working it out. That was well done by Marson. Kick towards centre half forward for Noble Park. Murray went up. It's an open forward line right now if they can work it out, but the tackle was strong by Balwyn. And they'll win the ball back through McDermott, getting it out to Wilson on the wing, and he's going to go wider still. Mark taken by Kempson, former Ram. Kicks it towards the arc for Balwyn. And just scrapping for it at ground level. It's going to be one out here by Fairbank, but Tillig interrupts it. Managed to find a little bit of space to get the handball over to Kempson. Kick back towards centre half forward, off hands. It's willing stuff at the moment. Anderson was able to get the kick to the leading Haley. Takes the mark. Oh, the umpire said he played on. Had to get the handball away. Noble Park will try and feast on this, but it's going to be wrapped up. And a forward stoppage for the Tigers.
So back in their forward half now, the Tigers. Ball up. Tap down. Noble Park looking to clear this one out. Able to do this efficiently. At the short option. And Keane takes the uncontested mark. As McDonald in the middle. Goes back towards the boundary line, right in front of their own huddle. Coaching box. Short. chip. Finds Keane again, getting involved early
Got
for
the
the
side
Bulls.
play on at the moment, Noble.
Just haven't got much ahead, and he's just going to go as long as he can and put it up to this pack, but a lot of Tiger numbers, and they're able to take this mark and move the ball along through Durden into the side today. Got off to Wilson. Wilson down to Marshall. Marshall working his way up the wing, handballing it into space, giving Young this to run onto. Young inside 50, hits Bowen Smith on the chest. And he'll be in range to go back and have a set shot for Balwyn's first of the afternoon. A bit of an angle.
They did that really well, Balwyn, because they pushed all the Noble Park players to one side of the ground, got the out, and then created the run where they had four players on their own.
So Smith from about 40 metres out, that kick is always going to stay right, and in fact out of bounds on the full. So no score as they remain scoreless. Noble Park 1 behind. Let's go down the boundary with Scott Hardy.
Yes, boys, there we go. No, we're still not. Oh, we're better. We're better. Sorry, boys. It's first day back Blues, so it's a pleasure to be there. The rain stays away.
Thanks there, Scotty. We'll hopefully hear from you across the afternoon down on the boundary. Hopefully the rain stays away.
Noble Park with the clearing kick out of their defence, but it was interrupted there by Balwyn. Fairbank working it out. And Balwyn back into forward 50. Mark taken. And we're just waiting on to see who this is. This is Nathan Oakes.
The one thing that I think Noble Park are going to have to do this afternoon, if they are going to win this game and stay in the contest, is they're going to have to play a high possession game and chip the ball around, because if they play long, they're going to get caught on the turnover.
Yeah, uncontested mark's going to be the key to this game.
5 goals in his 2 games for the year. That shot hit the post. So a second blemish for Balwyn. Sorry, the first blemish for Balwyn. The first shot was out in the full.
So hit the woodwork and now on the board, 1 point apiece. Noble Park again will look to use this side of the field. Go down the wing, the broadcast side, as the kick towards the boundary line's been cut off. Great mark there from Will Lamott. Rising star for the Balwyn Tigers. Lamott back inside 50, great intercept mark, and standing underneath that one, Taborski for the Bulls. Certainly said that probably the difference in pace between the two sides in moving the football. Still early days as big pack of players fly for that one. A great contested mark from O'Rourke. O'Rourke has the short option. Again, they just slowly just trying to make their way up the field. But they do maintain possession of the footy and the half-back line here to the Bulls. Ooh. Sells the candy to Charlie and goes down the line. Was in the direction of Napa and out the back, standing underneath that. Jamie Ridd, who's had a fantastic season, takes the mark on the chest and looks to take the game on because Turner's by himself in the middle. Getting the handball was Tillich to Urban. Back to Bowen Smith. Bowen Smith finds Oakes, takes the mark, tucked in on the boundary. 70 out from home will send them back into attack again. Bit of a strong breeze out there and a free kick off the ball. Looks like Fairbank was held without it or pushed away.
Some of the key ball winners for Balwyn already getting involved. Urban being busy early along with Bowen Smith, and Ridge getting a lot of it across half back.
Riordan took the outlet mark, trying to find a target inboard, but had to go wide there. Mark taken by Jordan Marson. He's going to go inboard, but it's all Tigers right there, and Sam Durden took the intercept mark, found Wilson further wide. He went inboard to Urban, sharing it round back to Wilson. Pollux is the option now across the square. Still trying to work it past the front of centre of Balwyn. Smith was the option, but did it go out on the full? Yes, it did. So Noble Park to take the free kick. And they've had to be patient, the Bulls. Now they go inboard. That was a good trigger pull by Noble Park, and the mark's been taken by Liam O'Rourke, leading goal kicker for the Bulls this year. And he's going to have to be just as patient as they have been thus far to find a mark inside forward 50, but the intercept mark was always going to be taken in that situation by Lockie Young. Balwyn now to figure it out, going wide, switching up the play again, and it's Tillich who's worked his way up the ground. Good lead there by Haley. Did he take the mark or was he infringed upon? He was infringed upon. So he'll once again have to slow down the play as Noble Park got back into defence. So he's going to look for the corridor, straight into the centre of the ground. Oscar Lunny took the mark, handed it off, and now Balwyn, great lead up. And I believe this is Kane Turner. No, yeah, it is.
Young is absolutely having a picnic at the moment.
He is.
They're going to have to do something very shortly, Noble Park, because he's threatening to take the game away from them very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's that half-back line that are just getting so much ball use at the moment. They're just using that corridor, as we discussed pre-game.
130 games in the AFL for North Melbourne. Kane Turner has just kicked the 1 goal for the year thus far in the 6 games that have elapsed. That one is on point. And Balwyn get first blood. Brash.
Let's go to scoreboard.
Score centre.
Yes. Oakley District 2-3-15 leading the Basin, 2-2-14. Dombole 2-1-13. Knox yet to score. Upper Gully have got out of the gate here 3-3-21. Scoresby yet to score.
Ooh.
And the Gully, Ferntree Gully 1 goal 6. Fair Park 2 behind.
It'd be a big result if Upper Ferntree Gully were able to get the scalp against Scoresby.
Early days yet, Jared.
Indeed.
So back in the middle here, Balwyn 1-1-7, Noble Park 1 behind. We played just under 10 minutes into this first term. The Eastland match of the round. Thanks for joining us, Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. Ball comes out. McDonald has had a fantastic season. Just a high kick standing underneath this with Lockie Young. Balwyn have got all the numbers. The handball just missed the target. Now gives Noble Park a bit of a sniff for their defensive half. A bit of ball up.
Just got to be careful when entering that forward line. Noble can't bomb kick. It's just not going to work on a day like today with that defence.
So the ball up. Anderson goes up by himself, and there's been a free kick. And it is going to McDonald. So probably a similar angle that Stern had earlier. So just inside the boundary line. There's plenty of feedback from both supporter bases in front of us.
It's going to be like that all afternoon, I reckon, Ryan.
They've got a great history, these two clubs, and this will be big for McDonald if he can put this through. Tight angle from about 40 metres out. Kick didn't look too bad off the boot, but it is to the right. So a minus score for Noble. They move to 2 behinds. Balwyn 1-1-7. 11 minutes gone first term.
Lockie Young to get the kick back in. He's going to go towards the outer side, onto the wing. Oh, they spilled each other a little bit there. The Tigers, Balwyn, were able to recover the ball. Sorry, Noble Park were able to recover the ball, that is, and find the inboard kick to Riordan. Elects to play on to Noble, has to step around 1, was able to do so and get the kick inside forward 50. It's a 2-on-1 and a height at disadvantage for the Bulls as well, but they found it at ground level. Got a few options there. Tackle on Byford, and I think it's going to end up in a ball up. The umpire comes in and claims it.
Just got to be perfect when they get this ball entry in, Noble.
Yeah, just not clean enough at the moment, Spider.
That's right.
To the rock contest goes Alex Silvani. Comes out the back of the stoppage for the Tigers, but over the boundary line.
Boundary.
Let's go to Scott Hardy.
I don't really have much to say. I just needed to do a check. I'll give you more as it goes, but it's sounding very good. High def.
Crystal clear, Scotty.
Absolutely. Big improvement on earlier. So Silvani will take the ruck contest for the Tigers. Was able to find Smith with the tap. And they're going to share it around through. That was Kempson. And Wilson received the handball. Managed to find a player, but he was in all sorts. The Bulls go for the tackles once again. That was a great tackle there by Jones, it was. Now they're able to recover it and come forward, do the Bulls. 2-on-1 situation again, constantly having the outnumber are the Tigers, and that ends up in a tackle and a holding the ball. Brilliant stuff by McDermott.
So McDermott being good early for the Tigers. has
Yeah,
the
it's
option
been
back.
really good.
Sam Durden. It's a luxury for this side to have someone like Sam Durden just walk in this week.
Just walked in off the street.
Yep. He has a short option that he finds, and Wilson holds on to the footy before he makes the move down the field. Another uncontested mark, and slowly gaining territory are the Tigers. Marshall right down the line. Two Bulls really went up against each other in the end. 13 and a half minutes gone first term. It's ball on 1-1-7. Noble Park 2 behinds. Ball on the outer side, tap down in favour of the Tigers. Still about 70 metres out from their goals. And the umpires are awarded a free kick, and it is going to that man, Flynn Marshall. He'll be able to send them back inside 50. He's got Charlie leading. Has the short option, Will Lamott. Lamott from outside 50 launches it. The wind carries that right, and taking the mark in defence for the Bulls here. Looks to be Jacob Noble. So Noble, short option, finds a teammate there in Broderick.
Broderick is going to, once again, have to be patient. Balwyn has been very good at cutting off the exits, but he finds an option in Dean Jones on the wing. That was a canny kick. So I don't think I'm surprised he took the mark, to be honest. And inside forward 50 for the Bulls. They're trying to centre it. Going after it now was Riordan. Gets it to McInerney. He's got a bit of a job to do here against two. Finds the kick. It was a spearing ball, but it was cut off by Smith. Smith plays on immediately. Oakes. Nathan Oakes led up the ground. Onto the wing. Short kick over the top. The Tigers working this one out through Tillig. Oh, spilt ball. They're going to have to recover it here. Tillig goes again. Ends up in a tackle. And a ball up on the wing. Still 1-1-7 to just the two behinds. Balwyn leading. 15 and a quarter minutes gone in this first quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. From that, it was Matthew Nelson, a high up and under kick, with the intercept mark taken by Pollux. He's going to play on quickly. Wilson, the kick was a little overcooked for him, so had to go back to recover it. Was able to find Durden, and now to Urban. Urban, wasn't a great kick. Noble Park were able to recover it. Bouncing ball, scooped up, and Durden caught in the tackle, holding the ball. Noble Park get another chance to send it inside forward 50. What's the method going to be here? They're going to try and find it over the back. Punched away from Stern. Finding it was Keane, but a lot of hands locked onto it. And the umpire's going to have to come and break it up. Top of the goal square. Forward stoppage for the Bulls. Dangerous situation here. The Tigers are going to have to be on their toes. Make sure no one comes through and snaps the goal, but an easy clearance. Sam Durden bouncing ball outside of the defence. Trying to punch it back in there with the Bulls. And it's going to end up in yet another stoppage just on the arc.
That was just too easy to clear from the Bulls' perspective there. They've got to be better than that
Yeah.
when defending in your forward line.
16 and a half minutes gone first term. Just the one goal in this game so far. Ball on 1-1-7. Noble Park 2 behinds. They'll create themselves another opportunity. Smothered. Ball comes back. Fell through the hands of Molinaro. And we'll get a stoppage on the paint of the arc.
They've just got so many numbers behind the ball, the Tigers, at the moment, so they're just so well set up across the field.
But a big strength of their side. Ball comes out again, and they're going to clear this through Kempson into towards the middle of the ground. Picked up by Tillich. Swings around on the left. Then to the right. Bouncing footy in front of Silvani, picked up very nicely off the one hand. Looked to find Charlie Haley and got it off to Slimming towards the top of the square. Mark not quite taken by Marshall. Ball comes out. McDonald with the handball. Fairbank cut off by Urban in the long sleeves. Swings around and probably does the full 360 as he's wrapped up and got it away in time. But the umpire says holding the ball, so Noble Park take possession at centre half back. 17 coming up to 18 minutes gone in the first term. McInerney for the Bulls. centre half back. Again, it's been the slow play, but probably similar. We've talked about Noble Park defensively being okay, but that kicks turn up. Off to Silvani, sells the candy, has Kempson. Kempson forward to Anderson, smart tap, back to Silvani, but Bulls have got numbers everywhere around the corridor, and they can really make something out of this if they get the ball movement. It's cut off again. Now a chance for McDermott. Back to Silvani. Swings around on the right. His kick was smothered and he ends up with the footy anyway. Couldn't quite control it as the ball goes towards the boundary line. Happy to see it out is Isaac. In fact, it stays in. And now Balwyn towards their centre half forward line. Putting this Bulls defence back under pressure again. Tillich got the handball away. Tap forward, cut off this time by Noble Park. Now they go down the field. They've just got nothing ahead of them, so they can't be too quick, but the handball played on straight away, was cut off by Turner. It's just probably a poor decision in the end. Wayne Brasher's got some scores.
Yeah, Oakley District 3-3-21 leading the base at 2-2-14. Donvale 3-3-21, Knox 1 straight 6. Upper Gully 3-5-23 leading Scoresby's yet to score. Ferntree Gully 2-2-14 leading Fair Park 1-3-9.
So we've got a secondary ball up. Thank you very much for those scores around the grounds, Brash. Very interesting stuff going on, of course, in mostly Division 3 this weekend. Tertiary stoppage now. As the ball moved slightly towards Noble Park's end, but not much territory gained. Where's the clearance going to come from for either of these two teams? Anderson versus Murray. Anderson got it down to Urban. He was shoved in the back and will get the free kick. He's got Oakes leading. Wasn't quick enough to see him. So goes the short option. Mark taken. This is Young. And had the option of, this is Lamotte. Gets the handball away. They're not working in that much space at Balwyn, but he was able to make space for himself, did Haley, and kick it across the ground. So they're going to try and work the angles here. Mark taken by Wilson. Now it comes to, this is Rid. Tried to do the step around. Takes a bounce and a high ball towards the top of the goal square. Napa was in defence and was able to get the punch away. So over the boundary line it goes. We're into time on here in the first quarter. Thank you very much for joining us on FNL Game Day. Brash with some more scores.
Now you can see the definitive game styles between the two sides. Balwyn are trying to move the ball quickly, and Noble Park are just prepared to play a very stop-start game and try and deny Balwyn possession.
They are, and there's a little bit of overuse from Balwyn in that regard as well, forcing it.
Urban ends up with the ball, but was wrapped up. Umpire to take it. Back into the ruck contest. No clear winner. Smith crashed in, had hit a bit of a roadblock, and we'll have yet another ball up. Urban circling. It's Anderson, nearly got the tap away, but it was a good job there by Broderick, but it's going to come back, and the mark's been taken, and this is Tillich.
Good forward 50 pressure there by Noble Park. That was a really good tackle by Charlie Haley there. Made sure that ball came loose, and Balwyn were there to pick up the crumbs, and a well-placed kick into Tillich. They should score a goal here.
Yeah, great forward stoppage, and great work by both Haley there, and they should be finished off with a goal.
Jack Tillich on the siren as well. It was a very short quarter. Only 22 minutes as the number 22 comes in and scores the second goal for the Tigers. They move to 2-1-13. Noble Park, the two behinds. And we have hit quarter time here at Balwyn Park. Thank you very much for joining us on EFNL Game Day. We will be back.
Oh. Just before we do go to break, we did have, I think our time started a little bit late, so potentially could have been a little bit more than the 22 minutes.
But I think it was about 26.
Yes,
26, almost 27.
I don't think it was, probably only about 30 seconds I was off
by
the time I restarted it later on.
So Balwyn at quarter time lead, 2-1-13 to Noble Park, 2 behind. Thanks for joining us. Radio Eastern 98.1 FM, Facebook and YouTube. Don't go anywhere.
Absolutely. They have the ability to frustrate Balwyn, no doubt, but not the ability to actually hurt them on the rebound, at least thus far. So leading us into the second quarter here at Balwyn Park is Ryan Long.
So second quarter underway. Balwyn 2-1-13. Noble Park 2 behinds. Eastland match of the round. Getting the handball first was Riordan. Chevy Anderson throwing his weight around. Ball comes out, back to Riordan, got it off. And now Broderick inside 50. The kick, though, straight into the hands of Sam Durden. So that's that forward 50 entry that they'll have to improve going forward. But they have looked at dangerous at some stages. Bowen Smith almost took the mark. Rid was at ground level, picked it up, wrapped up by Nelson, and we'll get a ball up. So back in the middle of the ground, 30 seconds into this second term. Bowen just starting to find some form at the moment, winning their last 4 after a slow start to the season. Ball back in, side 50, a chance now for Byford. And Noble Park have their first. It clears Sam Durden's head, and it goes through for their first. 1-2-8 Noble Park to Balwyn 2-1-13, a minute into this second quarter.
Yeah, and that was because of a stoppage, really, and that was the first time they were able to win the stoppage in their forward line and create a scoring option. So that was well done, but Balwyn just on that occasion just weren't on that side of the pack. They went over the top of Durden.
1-13 to 1-2-8, minute and a half gone. And back into the centre. Napa versus Anderson will take to the ruck contest. Anderson able to tap it over the back to Urban. That was very good. Oh, running into a heavy tackle. And Stern laying it down, winning the free kick. So Noble Park with the chance to move forward once again. Where will Stern go with this? Goes wide. It's a 2-on-1 situation, and over the top came Pollux with a handy spoil. And it'll be a ball in.
And that's why they're struggling to kick a score, because they've got no key forward to direct the ball in, and they've gone probably to the worst position of the ground.
Yeah, it's indirect.
Back into play. Anderson with the tap down. Balwyn able to feed the handball out. Now Red looping handball. Clever tap over the top by Turner. And it's going to end up inside forward 50 with a mark to Oakes. Good lead up by Nathan Oakes. Actually, maybe a little bit too far out to score. He looks intent on at least having a shot. Mouth guard in the sock. Who's in the goal square for either side to potentially make something of this. Oh, it's on its way, it's there. What a kick by Nathan Oakes. And Balwyn get a very quick reply to Noble Park's first of the game.
Jeez, got onto that one too.
He
That
did.
was
And when you get it in there quick, that's what can happen, and you give yourself an opportunity to score, and the defence can't get back. But Oakes on that occasion, he just sized it up, and he went the full journey.
Tobin Brothers goal today, clubhouse lead. I'll circle that one because we always seem to forget by the end of the afternoon. But Oakes at the moment, the leader on that front. That's a fantastic kick from outside the arc, and a great start, or great response for the Tigers. Back in the middle again. Reardon there for the Bulls. Marson. Napa.
Reardon's been good so far.
Do it all again. Another stoppage. Anderson for the Tigers getting the tap down. Kicking it forward there was Marshall. Juggling Mark, couldn't quite take it there. McDermott giving Noble Park a bit of a sniff. Big gang tackle in the back half. 2-on-1.
Boundary.
Ball up as we go down to the boundary with Scott Hardy.
Just want to watch for Noble Park. Jack Murray was proppy at quarter time. He's still on the bench. I can't sort of see from my angle I'm at whether his day's done or not, but it might have some strapping on that knee, so just wanted to watch.
Thanks, Scotty. We'll keep an eye on that one as wrapping up in a tackle there. Stephen Slimming has won himself a free kick for holding the ball. So at the half-back line for the Tigers. Just chooses to go back. Uncontested mark there from Lunny, who switches the play now, and they'll use the far side. Taking his time as Pollock, who works his way up the ground in the direction of Oaks.
That was too easy there by Noble Park.
Well, that was just a good option by Slimming to be
Oaks
able to
using the
put it up.
corridor. This is a dangerous kick. Look for Anderson. And now the Bulls have got all these numbers around the contest that they can make something out of this. Faith will go back towards centre half forward. It's standing in front. In fact, it's Jordan Marson. Looks to go right and hits up a target. A little bit closer, but certainly a tougher angle.
I don't understand that kick, to be honest with you.
It's just a negative kick. It's just a nothing kick, yeah.
You're kicking from in front of goal. Why wouldn't you be going back for the kick?
So Scott McInerney will now take the set shot, potentially out of his range.
No, I think he could kick it, but I think they've just made it harder for himself to kick a major.
So it is a tougher angle from this side of the field, on the far side. So McInerney comes in, kick is always right in that wind. Yeah, playing a factor too down that end. So no score.
It's
in
just
fact, it's snuck through for a behind, so just a minor score.
It's just not common sense footy. It's just not thinking about what you should be doing.
Let's go around the grounds. Wayne Brasher, what have you got for... Oh, sorry. Yes?
Yeah, we have.
Yep, we are.
Yep, let's go. The Basin opened up a 28-point lead here, 8-2-50.
May have to cut you off here. Brash's Charlie Haley was the target in the forward line. That was Clark. Wasn't able to use it effectively. Noble ended up tackled by Tillich, but Noble Park will escape with it if Fairbank's good enough. Oh, he's harassed and harangued towards the line, but Apostolou shoved over and will get the... Oh, will actually
that was a free
incur
kick.
the free kick.
Yep. Manhandled him.
Indeed. So Fairbank now...
He's got a decent set of ink on that leg of his, hasn't he?
Does indeed. Make it easy to identify it. Well, that in the long sleeves. McInerney spearing ball onto the wing. Oh, scooped up. That was good by Stern. And now McDonald sends it to a 2-on-2 inside Noble Park's forward 50. And the mark, that's a handy mark taken by Liam O'Rourke.
But that's the passage of play that they need. Like something like that gives them an opportunity to score. And O'Rourke, who has been a good contributor the last few weeks, gets a chance now.
They didn't overpossess it this time, Noble Park. And McDonald, you want it in his hands when going inside forward 50, I would say.
It's very clean.
And so in comes Liam O'Rourke. 10 goals for the year thus far. Leading goal kicker for the Bulls. Can he make this one hurt for Balwyn? Oh, he's pushed it right. And just the one behind. 1-4-10 now the Bulls to 3-1-19 the Tigers. We've gone 8 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Although they
haven't taken opportunities.
Yeah, although they haven't converted a couple of those, they will be happy with the way they've started this term. We've got some more scores around the ground.
Yeah, the Basin have kicked out again here. 9-2-56 leading Oakleigh District. 3-4-22. Donvale 5-4-34. Knox 2 straight 12. Upper Gully 3-7-25. Scores but yet to score. Ferntree Gully 2-5-17 lead. Fair Park 2-3-15.
So Noble finds Broderick. Low darting kick hits his target, and it's Liam O'Rourke again. And he'll have a chance to reverse the last result and kick a goal.
Good work by Broderick, wasn't it, Brad?
Yeah, they've had the majority of the play here in Noble Park, but they just haven't put it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, disposals would be interesting this quarter. I think they've had a lot more.
They have.
Yeah, got to be happy with the way they've started. But they do need to start converting some of these set shot goals. O'Rourke missed from a similar angle just earlier. His kick, has he learned his lesson? He has. It snuck through for a goal. Noble Park moved to 2-4-16. Balwyn 3-1-19. 9 minutes gone second term. Great response from the Bulls.
Well, they probably owned at least 7 of the 9 minutes, Spider. And they're still 3 points behind, but it's a more encouraging start to the second.
Well, it is, and the method is a lot better. So when you bring the ball through that part of the ground and you kick it in there, you're giving your forwards a chance. And then on the last 2 occasions, O'Rourke's had that chance. So, and now it reflects on the scoreboard.
They didn't hang the kicks up into the air either to let the ball in tall defence get onto it.
No, that was well disciplined kick.
Charlie Haley into the middle of the ground now on McDonald at the moment, which is interesting. So I think that's something that Brenton Sanderson mentioned during the interview. We'll have a secondary ball up this time. Anderson with the tap. Sharp by Lamotte. Bouncing ball. Tillig taps it. Oh, scooped up. And Lamotte kicks the goal. It was Slimming in the centre that I called as Lamotte. And Will Lamotte puts on a great response for Balwyn. That was very clean, very quick. Efficient stuff by the Tigers.
Too many numbers by themselves, though, Spider.
It is, yeah. That was just unbelievable what Balwyn were able to do there, to get those numbers across, players free, and then in turn be able to hit the scoreboard. But that's the response that they wanted straight away, Balwyn, and they got it.
Marching back out to 9 points out here at Balwyn Park. 10.5 minutes gone second term. Thanks for joining us. Radio Eastern 98.1 FM or on our Facebook and YouTube streams. Back in the middle we go, and Silvani wrapped up. We'll do it all again. He'll win it out this time. Smart tap forward. Charlie dropped it, lost it. Noble Park will take possession of this. The ball will be going to Scott McInerney. He plays on straight away. They're looking to take this on. Reardon goes inside 50. One-on-one. It was looking for O'Rourke, but beaten that time by Sam Durden, who out-muscled him and finds a target himself at half-back.
They want to work this one out. They're going to find the corridor once more. Handy option in there was Tillig. And he's got Charlie Haley floating forward. Fairbank's got a lot to do. It just went over the top of Haley. Can he kick this one? Taps it to himself. Fairbank rushes it over. The race was on, and Fairbank was fleet of foot enough.
I was waiting for him to kick it out of mid-air or something. Something was.
Well, he didn't panic, and that was the thing there, Fairbank, so you've got to compliment him on that.
Yeah, Fairbank doing very nicely there to be able to get that across. 4-2-26 Balwyn, 2-4-16 Noble Park, 10-point lead. 12 minutes into this second term. Out of defence there is Stern. All numbers for Balwyn. Silvani, one of those who takes the mark and will send them back into attack. Looking for Charlie. Lamotte's out the back too. Almost there. Lamotte picked it up. High kick. Punched away towards the boundary line and they clear it out. So we'll get a boundary throw in. Deep inside Balwyn's forward 50. Watch Charlie closely at this stoppage. He's got Tour to give him some company.
Trying to move a few back out of that forward line. Tigers at the moment, just to crowd it.
Ball went over both ruckmen and out the back there was Marshall who clears it out towards the wing. Silvani going up against it. And they go back inside 50 again, the Tigers. So they do it all again. Charlie to fly. Ends up with the footy. Ball going nowhere there. So we'll get a ball up inside the Tigers forward 50, leading by 10 points.
Can they create a forward stoppage goal from here?
Lamotte to go up in the ruck. Good fly, but taps it straight down to Marshall. Haley stole it from him, ends up tackled by 3. And the boundary line intercepted what Jamie Kempson was trying to do. So another forward stoppage. Brash with some scores.
Yeah, the Basin by 40 points, 10-2-62, leading Oakley District, 3-4-22.
Thank you very much. Lamotte gets the tap down, but sharking it was Reardon. Urban ends up with it, turning this way and that, and now to Lamotte. Oh, great snapping goal on the left, and Balwyn put the hurt on the Bulls again. That's his second in the quarter, Will Lamotte. And was had great presence of mind to be able to find his left boot. Wasn't looking at the goals when he did that, so great goal sense.
A bit of composure too from
Gee,
Urban.
and the crowd went wild with excitement there. I don't think I've heard a more quieter response to a goal than I've heard there.
It was more the expectation, I think. Yeah. But no, look, that was brilliant play by Urban. That was just a terrific presence, just to get the ball onto the boot and went through for a goal.
We're back in the middle again. Bulls looking to go forward through Marson. Jones, his kick was smothered. There's Urban in the long sleeves. So has Silvani, got a few of them, did a full 360 to get the handball away to Kempson. Now forward they go. Towards centre half forward, bouncing footy in front of Tilly. Got the hands off, getting past one, having a shot on goal here for Balwyn. Slimming has missed to the left, so just a minor score, and they now move to 5 5-3-33. Noble Park 2-4-16.
Just the last couple of minutes, Balwyn have put their foot right on the medal here.
Yeah, and Swimming gets the ball in his hands. He's looking dangerous.
Fairbank, Noble over the top. That was a great mark by Jacob Noble on the just on the defensive side of the near wing for the Bulls. Now he's a bit hemmed in here. Elects to go down the line. That is something that Balwyn has been able to feast on all game thus far. The kick, it was a little bit of a iffy one by Oscar Lunny. Silvani was able to recover it. Balwyn share it through hands and now get the clearing kick to Urban, who made himself an option out in front of Marshall. Trying to find the corridor. Molinaro cuts it off. And I think the umpire had called something here. I'm not sure. Oh, was it a downfield free kick inside Noble Park's forward line?
Bulls free kick too.
And so it's going to go to Tua? Not Tua.
No, that's this is Josh Stern.
Stern, okay.
Quickly, Donvale 6-4-40 leading Knox 2-1-13. Upper Gully 3-7-25 Scoresby behind. Ferntree Gully 3-6-24 leading Fair Park 2-3-15.
4 years of VFL experience with Frankston. 6 goals for the year thus far. Josh Stern pokes at it and pokes through the goal. Noble Park get the response there. 3-4-22 to Balwyn 5-3-33. 16 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Just what they needed that goal, the Bulls.
Yeah,
absolutely. And when they do go forward this quarter, they have looked a little bit more dangerous with their method. So, and with a little bit more purpose, but it's just a couple of turnovers that have been really costly.
Well, they've just been willing to take the game on a bit more in this second term, and it's paid off quite nicely for them. So I think we, at quarter time, probably were struggling to see where their goals are going to come from, but they've started just to put a couple on the board now and keep this game interesting going into closing into halftime. Still 17 minutes gone second term, so a lot to play. If they can get the next one, it'll certainly really help their confidence.
Boundary.
Let's go down the boundary, Scott Hardy.
Just a player to watch, Ben Silvani. Brendan spoke about him pre-game, saying he was going to play centre forward. He's sort of forward pocket, when he's the ruck, gone down the back, now he's forward. So crucial player to have in your side.
Yeah, certainly right. He's been involved today as laying the tackle there was Jordan Marson in the middle of the ground for the Bulls.
The interceptors for ball not having as much impact in this quarter, which is a good sign for the Bulls at the moment.
So tap down, gaining some territory, looking to try and kick that off the ground was keen.
Because that's an area they were falling down in that first quarter. Just too much ball use for McDermott, Reid, Young.
Being able to just get back into this contest. Urban, kick over his head, back in towards Tillig. Ball coming out, Jones bombs it forward. Cut off by the Tigers.
Balwyn, they're going to find Tillig. Oh, good contest by Noble. Couldn't take the mark, but it was off hands and he ended up with the ball. So over the top he goes. Now McDonald sends a flying shot inside forward 50. That one was nearly one for Durden, but the Bulls could end up with it. Swinging around the body, Broderick. Oh, what a goal.
I reckon that looked like a bit of a throw.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but well, we got it up on the replay at the moment.
Yep.
Oh,
that's absolutely.
Got away with one.
I didn't want to say that, but that was a throw.
The one-handed just chuck it out of there and, well, they get a goal out of it.
You'll take it when you get it.
That's right.
So Broderick joins O'Rourke,
Boundary.
Byford and Stern with the one goal for the Bulls. Let's go down to Scott Hardy.
Just quickly, Jack Murray has got ice on that right knee. Refusing to put on a vest, though, which baffles me. You've got ice and you're freezing out here, but he's still there. But, yeah, I'd say his day's done.
So back in the middle again. The Bulls have got this margin back to now 5 points. I've kicked 4 goals to the quarter. Here's Reid. Slipped over and fell over, yeah.
Well, it's Reid and McDonald who have really got their hands on the ball, and also Broderick in this quarter that have kept them in the contest.
Yeah, they have really stood up in this term and starting to win a lot more of these stoppages and just creating a few more forward 50 entries. We'll do it all again. We'll get another ball up back in the middle, approaching the 20-minute mark of this second term. course, just the 5 senior games today. Here's Balwyn Smith, caught one high. So what can he do with this possession? Smith last year's best on ground in the grand final, inside 50 in the direction of Haley. Oakes was at ground level, so was Turner. Left boot, high up and under, taking the mark in defence there is Isaac.
Isaac, bit of a task to find an option, because over the top there came, that was Lachlan Young with the punch away and the boundary throw in. So maybe wasn't the option that Noble Park were looking for. It was a 2-on-1 situation in the end.
It just looked easy to kill that ball.
Yeah, it definitely was. Hung up in the air a little bit too. And on the throw in, Napa gets it to McDonald, centre of the ground. He's got some work for him to do. Molinaro gets it back to McDonald, however. Bouncing ball, chasing it. Now Balwyn end up with it again. Inside forward 50 for the Bulls though. Stern, can he get boot to ball? Bouncing to the top of the goal square, and that was a high hit. And so the free kick will go to the to Noble Park, and I think this is Molinaro. It was a very, very clear high contact free kick by Smith.
There was no intent in that. I think the player just dropped his legs at the
right
moment.
So Luke Molinaro. He's going to come in, and this is for the lead for Noble Park, and I don't think we saw this at quarter time, but they've achieved it, the Bulls. And they take it to 5-4-34 to Balwyn 5-3-33 in time on in the second quarter. And the King's birthday game rivalry, it does throw up some surprises some years.
Yeah,
it's
well,
the method, isn't it, Brack?
Yeah, it
It
is.
calls to ring the siren then.
No, but it is the method. They are using the ball far much better this quarter, and they're giving themselves a chance to score. In that first quarter, the interceptors for Balwyn had too much of a say. This term, they've been taken out of the game.
Dunvale 39 up here over Knox, 9-4-58. Knox 3-1-19.
Thanks there, Brash. Keep us updated across the afternoon with those Division 3 scores. Turner out the middle, got the handball away. Cut off now by the Bulls. McDonald on the left boot. Cut off by Rid. Rid dancing through traffic. Gets the ball on the boot in the direction of Lamont. Couldn't quite grab it. He's looking dangerous up forward at the moment. In fact, that was Oakes. So we'll get a ball up inside 50 for the Tigers. A trail at the moment. No one able to really get a clear tap to it. Here's Balwyn Smith. We'll get another ball up.
Good tackle laid by Quaif there on Balwyn Smith.
The Basin 10-2-62, leading Oakley District 3-4-22.
Napa straight to Smith from that contest. Kick off the ground was an interesting one for Noble Park. Ended up in the hands of Fairbank, who was ridden into the ground. We'll have a ball up.
Upper Ferntree Cully 3-7-25, leading Scoresby 2-2-14.
23 minutes gone in the second quarter. Thanks for the scores, Prash. Coming to you from the many grounds around the eastern suburbs this weekend. Another ball up. Napa. Anderson was able to shark Napa's kick. Oh, Lamont, front and center, snaps. Just the one behind. Very, very quick entry by Balwyn. And the Bulls not looking likely to stop those fast balls from becoming
it's hard, isn't it,
shots
Jared?
at goal.
Yeah.
Finally, Ferntree Gully 3-6-24, leading Fair Park 2-4-16.
Of course, Josh Allison's 300th game for Fair Park today. Played at multiple clubs, premiership player at South Croydon. Great story, that one.
Great achievement, isn't it?
So out of defence here is McInerney. Long down the line. Underneath this one to take the mark is Lachlan Young.
That'll make him eligible for our life membership, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Will is
300 games.
Young dances around and sends this one in the direction of both Oakes and Lamont. Ball hits a deck. Turner. Stoppage inside 50 for the Tigers. Score's all tied.
Noble Park have done a really good job in shutting Charlie Haley out of the game here.
So the ham all over the top from Oakes was cut off. The clearing kick is going to come straight back. There's a kick in hope by Marson. And
I'd have a go at this.
potentially going to have a
Looks
set
like
shot.
it.
What's the wind down like there, Scotty, just quickly? Is he working with much?
Oh, it's blowing an absolute gale down here. I don't know which direction is going to push it, though.
Well,
I'd go right to left.
all right, that you've heard, Brash, right to left. We'll be
It's
sending
swirling
this
from
from
what I can see.
about 70 out. It's got onto it.
Yeah, good
Just
call.
to the
Goal
left.
line. Has to be someone there.
It's minor score, 5-5-35, ball into 5-4-34. But certainly had the distance.
Yeah, that was impressive by Lockie Young.
I do probably forget it is a pretty small ground, Balwyn.
That's true.
He's a long kick, Young, when he gets him on target.
McDonald with the kick in as the Tigers have just edged their way in front there by the point in the shadows of half-time. Now winning this contest was Keane, tackled, holding the ball. Smith was right onto him there and finds Slimming in the middle of the ground. Shares it round. Who's the option? It's Nathan Oakes, just over the top of him, and the mark's been taken by Isaac. So Isaac will switch the play up once more. McInerney,
He's had plenty of football, McInerney.
Been good, yeah.
former Bayswater man. He tried to find Isaac once again, but he was just edged out of the contest, and Nathan Oakes is able to force the stoppage.
His brother was a good footballer, Wayne McInerney.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So back into play it will come. Anderson, front of the contest. Napa got the tap down though. It's come to Tillig. Flying shot from the middle of a contest and just the one behind.
Out of bounds on the full.
On the full, in fact. So Balwyn still just lead by the 1 point.
So can't be too much left in the quarter. We're now 27 minutes gone.
Been a few more goals though this quarter, Ryan.
Yeah, that's true. 5-5-35, ball into 5-4-34 Noble Park.
Whoa.
Big fly out the back from Young and he's given away a free kick. So Noble Park, it'll be that last goal kick and Molinaro to take possession for the Bulls. Been a great quarter for them and they'll be very happy if this is a scoreline going in at half-time. Underneath that one was Jordan Marson.
Boundary.
Let's go down the boundary with Scott Hardy.
From ground level, obviously, towards left of screen where Noble's kicking. It's definitely sitting up in the breeze once it sort of gets past that 30-metre mark. And we probably also need to get onto Matt Foddy, get some lights on this ground. It's starting to get dark over that side.
Yeah, it is a little bit out here at Balwyn. And yeah, it's not going to be the best lighting.
I got Donvale by 51 here, gents. 11-4-70, leading Knox 3-1-19.
That game's
Wow.
getting out of hand.
A big blowout. Donvale continue to flex their muscles. Back here, it's 1 point in it. Urban looks to take advantage of this, and it's going to come back. And in fact, it could be a Noble Park free kick. It is, and
25.
didn't return it back to him. And so
Oh, I don't know.
Napa will be potentially, he won't be in quite range. Got off to McDonald straight away towards the hot spot. No mark taken. Who's at ground level? Kempson. Better ball up inside 50. 28 and a half minutes gone. Can the Bulls sneak home a 6 to the quarter?
Would be impressive if they were able to do so with the questions that we had asked of them at quarter time. Urban, however, spins away from the contest and gets the kick. Lamotte is there, punches it. Running onto the ball was, I believe that's Kempson, but he's found his way over the boundary line with help from an opponent.
Basin 10-2-62, leading Oakley District 4-5-29.
So we'll probably be hearing the siren shortly. Can either of these teams put another score on the board and just give the opposition something to think about? No. It is halftime here at Balwyn Park. And currently the Tigers lead by just one solitary point, 5-5-35. Noble Park kicked all 5 of their goals in that second quarter, 5-4-34. And so we'll be back with you shortly after this ad break with the halftime show. Thank you so much for joining us on EFNL Game Day.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. while her two young boys wrestled on the floor. Tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Tobin Brothers Funerals wear their heart on their sleeve. Their clear and easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app make it easy for families to make an informed decision. Here's James McLeod, Managing Director of Tobin Brothers Funerals.
We pride ourselves on being the most transparent funeral company. All pricing on goods and services are available on our website. It's all there for you to see and make very informed decisions when planning a loved one's funeral.
Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner?
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Eastland EFNL Game Day, coming to you live from Balwyn Park. Thank you so much for the gents on the halftime show. You were listening to Spider, Ryan and Scott Hardy. Fascinating clash right now as Balwyn leading only by 1 point, gentlemen.
Yeah, interesting contest brewing in this second half. I thought Noble Park in the second quarter, they took it right up to Balwyn and they actually beat them at times at their own game. And I just thought on the overall possession of football, Noble Park probably entitled to be a couple more goals in front, Spider.
Well, yeah, as we just alluded to, they had their chances. I mean, their method was much better. They went into their forward 50 a lot cleaner and gave themselves an opportunity to score and really took the interceptors from Balwyn out of the contest in that term, and that's what they dominated in the first quarter.
Umpire holds the ball aloft and bringing you in to the third quarter action, Ryan Long.
Anderson with the hit out down at ground level. Urban got a hand to it. Anderson got off to Turner. Turner now inside 50 in the direction of Silvani. We talked a bit about him at half-time. Oakes snapping towards Tillig, picked it up, swung around the right, got the handball off to Bowen Smith. And was it touched off the boot? They're claiming it is, but it's all clear. And as quickly as you like, within 25 seconds, Bowen Smith gets the goal and puts Balwyn back in front by 7, 6-5-41 to Noble Park 5-4-34.
And that's the clearance that they were just so wanting at the start of this term, and to hit the scoreboard so quickly in the term, really gives them that impetus. But that would have been what Brenton Sanderson would have been demanding from his players to get momentum back in this contest.
And keep the ball moving which suits their playing.
Because when they get it moving like that, no one's going to stop them.
Will the Bulls answer, or will Balwyn continue to pull ahead? We'll find out perhaps after this secondary stoppage. Anderson with the tap down. Smith, who just kicked that goal, trying to ride the tackle, gets the handball away. Apostolou sharing it round. Smith again, working his way forward as Balwyn threaten once more. Into it goes Haley. He's changed into the long sleeves for this quarter. Reardon was able to stabilise Noble Park's defence, kick a high up and under. Oh, it was nearly marked by Napa, comes to ground level. And there's going to be a ball up.
A few of the Balwyn boys in the long sleeves.
There's a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah. Balwyn Smith's always in the long sleeves, but
it's a good looking kit with the long sleeves, I have to say. So from the contest, Noble Park spread it wide, looking now for Marson. Can he control the ball? He's got Pollux for company. Happy to just walk it over the boundary line. Oh, they called deliberate.
Oh.
Pollux. So he'll take the opportunity, go inboard, and it's cut right off by Quaife.
Well, he had no intent in keeping.
No, he didn't. It was pretty clear.
So Bulls still come out okay because Quaife took the intercept mark, goes down the line. All the numbers here for the Tigers to send it right where it came from. One-on-one contest. Ball hits the deck. The pressure from Fairbank. We'll see a ball up. Centre wing, far side out here at Balwyn Park. Two traditional rivals going head-to-head on the King's birthday weekend. Noble Park moving the ball towards the half-forward line. And a free kick awarded. It's a high free kick. It's going in the direction of the Bulls. So they've got over the top is Stern, if you could get onto that one quickly, but he's going for goal. He's happy to have the set shot. We did see the wind has just picked up as soon as I'm speaking as well, so
it's going to make it a tough kick.
He'll certainly be in range. Be kicking from outside the arc. O'Rourke.
It'd still be going right to left here.
Can he get onto this? It's a good-looking kick, and it is just to the left. So a minor score. That moves Noble Park to 5-5-35. Trailing Balwyn 6-5-41. 3.5 minutes gone third term.
Can Noble Park lock it in? Give themselves another opportunity. Lockie Young to bring it in for the Tigers. It's going to go the far side. It was a bit of a miss kick, I thought. It definitely was. It went out in the full. The target, I think, was meant to be Wilson. But Noble Park will send it back in. Searching for options. Where's the lead going to come from? It was a good lead by Stern. Comes out, presents well, slips through his hands though. Tries to get the handball away into space, reared onto it. And he was tackled by two. Ball up. Left half forward for the Bulls.
Late in the third term, Oakley District have got it back to 21 points. The Basin 10-4-64, leading Oakley District 6-7-43.
Interesting scores. Thank you, Brash. As I think found its way over the line before McDonald just threw his boot at it. So we'll have another ball in. It's up to a spectator to retrieve it.
He didn't seem too happy about that too.
No, he didn't.
Oh, well,
Boundary.
Tough.
Let's go down to Scott Hardy.
That was because the boundary umpire threw it back, and whose job is to get it back on the full. Couldn't.
Back into play, Napa and Anderson. Napa, good tap down. Throwing a boot at it was Reardon. Pollux was the stopper. Hand-to-hand combat. Marshall from the boundary line. Gee, that would have been a miracle, but out on the full.
One towards my van.
They keep pressing Noble Park, and the thing is that Balwyn just can't get the game on their terms at the moment. It's like every time that they look like that they're going to find free air, they're not getting it.
Yep. And they'll be very pleased with that, Steve Hughes and everyone down at the Noble Park coaching group, as Durden looks to clear this one out the back. It's going to come straight back. The mark is taken and sending it back inside Noble. Looking for Marson over the top. Got some numbers. Byford got the handball away. High one towards the top of the square. It's gone through for a goal.
That's Reardon, I
think. What a fantastic finish. It is Reardon. And it just looked like it was going to fall short, but
it was a floating mongrel.
Well, it was.
That
And
went
it was
through
something, it
top
was
of
just
the post
something out of
high.
nothing. And that's right. But it was really good play in the end by the Bulls. And they forced the ball forward, and in the end, Reardon just took advantage of it.
I watched that way up in the air, and it was just a light little wobble.
Yeah,
There was no spin to it at all.
Boundary.
guarding on the boundary line.
Yeah, and that's what Noble's got to use, just that breeze that's assisting the right of screen. We've seen, obviously, to the left it's holding up a bit more, so they just got to use it to their advantage this quarter.
Scores we've hit the front 4-5-29, upper gully 3-8-26.
Turner ran into a roadblock and was taken high from that contest. So Balwyn now with the opportunity to send it forward. It was just a chipper to Slimming, who's going to try and find a target in the pocket for the Tigers. Great mark taken by Oakes. Under a lot of pressure. No,
Big Will Lamont.
Well, he spotted him up there.
I went the other way last time.
He spotted that well, identified the player running into the space.
Donvale 14-4-88, leading Knox 3-1-19.
That one might be over.
Put it in the deep freeze.
So you're definitely happy with your decision to come here today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan?
Just had his arm twisted a bit.
Will Lamont lining up for his third. Oh, it's straight as an arrow.
I reckon you got to put that one down as a goal of the day contender.
Tough angle to negotiate, and Will Lamont makes it look easy.
Yeah, well, between him and Oakes, they're both looking very dangerous at the moment up forward for them, and I think they look like the guys that could break the game open in the second half, but the margin at the moment is at 6 points, and we probably didn't see this one coming, that it would be this tight at half time or in early stages of the third quarter. Now the question, can Noble Park stay with Balwyn, keep responding?
They've got to keep on a guy like Slimming, because if he gets that much space, like just running up and down that wing, no one's going to really go near him.
So back in the middle against, looks like it's a free kick against Chevy Anderson. So Napa take possession of the footy here. Waiting for it, looked like he was looking for a runner to come past, give the handball off, but just goes inside 50 out the back. Great mark taken, and Chevy Anderson getting back defensively to get a piece of that one. That should be play on now as he stepped off his mark. Looks to switch it towards the far side. Getting a fist to it there was Marson. Getting it out of bounds in front of our sponsor signs.
Ferntree Gully 3-8-26, lead Fair Park 3-6-24.
Thanks, Brash. We'll keep an eye on those across the afternoon. A couple of close results in Division 3 and a couple of blowouts as the Tigers look to link up through the middle. Red spun around on the right and just launched a high one in towards the middle of the ground. Plenty of numbers here for Noble Park. If they can make this work, Quaife was wrapped up by Slimming and will get a ball up in the middle of the ground.
Scoresby by 9, 5-5-35, Upper Gully 3-8-26.
From the stoppage, Napa took front position, but Smith ended up with it and with the free kick. So, chipping ball, diving mark by Oakes. Maybe a kick and a half from home. If wind assisted, he may actually be able to go the distance.
They go left or right here.
Nathan Oakes kicked one goal thus far in the game. And I think you were right, Brash, because he started at middle and it went right. And just the one behind for the Tigers. They moved to 7-6-48. The Bulls 6-5-41, nearly 10 minutes gone in the second quarter.
So Noble Park to take the kick in there 10 minutes into this third term and trailing by 7 points. And they'll go towards us on the broadcast wing. Looking for a team out there in Noble. But they're calling for deliberate here again, the Bourne boys, and they're not going to get it this time. It'll be a boundary throw in.
Donvale 15-4-94, leading Knox 4-1-25.
That margin continues to blow out. Incredible what Donvale have been able to do over the recent years. Ball back in, out here at Balwyn. It's going nowhere, so we'll get a ball up. About 70 out from the Noble Park goals. Trailing this game by 7 points. Balwyn are yet to really put away a side this season. Mitcham's probably the only one they've beat comprehensively. So
I did sort of pose that sort of question in an indirect sort of way to Brenton Sanderson this afternoon.
Absolutely, as Silvani with the tap down back in the middle of the ground. Interesting to see where he will play for the second half of the season, second half of the game.
Really?
Yeah. taking the ruck contest this time. Kick off the ground, clears the contest for Noble Park and sends it inside forward 50. It was O'Rourke beaten to it by Durden, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of us. Noble Park could manufacture something here. They've been able to scrag unlikely goals here and there throughout the game. And here's a good opportunity. So Silvani to take it. McDonald took the ruck contest. Smith, who's starting to work his way really into the game, got it to Urban, but he was swamped by 3 Bulls. So
that's the sort of pressure and the blueprint they want to see.
Yeah, it's just that intent that they've come with today, the Bulls.
I don't know about that. He didn't have a prior opportunity. He just turned
really?
around. He turned around and they were there.
It was red hot, but there is intent.
Oh, no, I think he walked into trouble there. That's definitely gone.
Furniture Gully 3-8. Furniture Gully 3-8, 26. Lead Fair Park 3-7, 25.
So Dean Jones was the man who ended up with the free kick.
Can't do
not the cricketer.
No, not the cricketer.
He was pretty handy.
Was he? What?
Going for his first goal of the year. And he's going to send it home. What a kick by Dean Jones, and they're getting into him now.
Straight
and it is.
And
it is on. The sparks are flying now.
Well, when these two come to play, it doesn't matter where they are on the ladder. It always turns out to be a titanic struggle, doesn't it?
Well, when you think back to this time last year, we were at the same game, and it was not too dissimilar. But and in the end, Balwyn overwhelmed them. But they are having a real crack here, the Bulls, and you've got to compliment them.
I think it was 10-15 last year to 7-8.
Free kick out of the middle of Anderson. So moves it along to Charlie Haley. So I'm not sure what that was for, but it's given the Tigers an opportunity. Going backwards there was Young. Back to Charlie. Charlie Haley goes towards the boundary side. Big collision, and there's been a free kick.
It's going to get real. I can see this game's going to get real willing.
Which,
have a look at this. This was...
What's going
and it's a 25-metre penalty, so there's a lot going on at the moment on field.
Boundary.
And I believe Scott Hardy potentially may have seen something.
Oh, it's just the initial free kick was an unrealistic attempt at the mark, and then it was just probably talked back to the umpire, I'd say.
So Apostolou will be marched forward. Bit of an angle. He wants to play on straight away and kick the goal, which he does, but he's going to be told to do it all again.
I mean, he got it. So
he did. Ball came back. It wasn't.
He hadn't set the mark there.
So he snaps around and does it.
He does the same
Deja
thing.
vu. And Balwyn get there 8-6-54, leading Noble Park 7-5-47. Apostolou's first of the afternoon.
Do you reckon he counts that as 2 goals for his stats?
You can try and get away with that.
On the scoreboard it goes 1, but it's just they're just got to hold their discipline here. The Bulls, they are in this game. They are frustrating the Tigers, so they've just got to make sure that they keep this level of intensity up in their method.
I missed what happened in the middle, Jared, where Chevy Anderson got a free kick straight away. That's super disappointing for them after kicking a big goal, getting the scores level, and then giving Balwyn a bit of an advantage there.
It seemed too quick to have been a 6-6-6, so I reckon it was the remonstration from before.
I think so. I think Lee's right there with that one. That was my guess anyway. As we'll have a secondary ball up, as it went nowhere from the first one. Silvani now in the ruck. Who's going to clear this one? Marshall. He's got to control it at ground level. Lost his feet. Silvani ended up tackling. That would be Molinaro.
Scoresby by 16, 6-6-42, leading Upper Gully 3-8-26.
Silvani fighting for front position there. Actually managed to win it. And the tap. Kick off the ground by Noble Park, though. It's going to come forward. Taken without it. Pretty clearly was Jordan Marson. So the Bulls will go forward.
Very crude tackle there.
Yeah, not great. I think it was Tom Wilson. At least he's the man on the mark. So Marson sends it to the pocket. Putting himself in the way was Young and also Durden. And it flew over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Ferntree Gully by 7, 4-8-32, leading Fair Park 3-7-25. Donvale 15-4, 94, leading Knox 4-2, 26.
That is a blowout there. 1v3 matchup as well in Division 3. Silvani tried to take it out of the ruck contest, couldn't handle it. Will end up at the bottom of the pack, and we'll go again.
Oakley District getting it back to 15 points, 10-4, 64 the base, and Oakley District 7-7, 49.
Anderson this time back in the ruck with the tap. Trying to work his way out was Broderick. Whistle is gone, and Broderick was caught holding the ball. Urban to take the free kick.
Just tried to do a bit too much.
So, the intensity in this game is lifted in this quarter. A healthy rivalry between the two clubs. Urban goes towards centre wing for the Tigers. There's Rid. Down at ground level. That's a high kick. Be a hard one to mark. A lot of players go up for it. Noble Park get the clearing kick, but it's cut off. And now Kempson through the middle of the ground. Can hurt him on the transition. Hits
Good
up
kick.
a target at half forward. Apostolou towards the top of the square. Big mark. And Tilly will now line up from directly in front to extend the lead.
That was just excellent play by Kempson.
Yeah, Kempson, and then a great mark from Tilly against two defenders.
I'd almost give
hold
it,
on to that.
If we were given a mark of the day, you'd have to put that in.
Yeah, that would be right there. That's a fantastic grab, and well done to Kempson as well, as you said, Spider,
He's
to
been
start
really
that.
good today, Kempson. Best on the ground last week at the reserves, and showing some good form today.
So Tillich lines up and makes no mistake. Balwyn get two in a row. They move to 9-6-60. Noble Park 7-5-47. 18 minutes gone third term. And Brush, is there more Noble Park fans here today? I reckon we get a bit more of a crowd reaction when the Bulls are kicking goals.
Yeah, well, they seem to be the most vociferous of crowds this afternoon, Noble Park.
Vociferous.
Use it in a sentence.
The crowd was vociferous. I think that was the sentence.
Could be another podcast intro, that bit.
EFNL vociferous.
Podcast name.
I'm always impressed how quick the ball gets returned from the tram tracks
Yeah.
here at Balwyn. It seems to be quicker than other places that have got nets at the back.
Urban tried to figure his way out of the back of the stoppage to try and get it to turn a bit. Turner ended up wrapped up.
I wonder how many people have stolen the football and hopped on the tram.
Noble Park need to find a response soon. They're not going to, with Urban steaming through the pack like that. Handing it to Smith with a high up and under towards the forward 50. Haley, is he going to work this one out? Spins out. Avoided a couple. The handball was errant. And Noble Park, they're going to try and work this one out. Urban again. He's really starting to fire up his turbo.
And he's having a good period in the game.
He ended up in a tackle. Ball up, Napa taps it. Broderick probably happy to rush it along with Noble. And just the one behind to ball when they move to 9-7-61 to 7-5-47. Nearly into time on here in the third quarter.
So the 14-point lead for the Tigers. Out of defence, McInerney takes the mark, and it's a 25-metre penalty too, so
Just
stiff, but
Ryan, just remembering this game is probably about 20 minutes in front of us. The Basin have got one back, 11-4-70 to Oakley District 7-7-49.
so be almost just about home there, the Bears, as the Bulls look to take the game on through the middle. Marked by Marson, Anthony Marson that is. There's an option to his left and will use it as they now use their centre wing, looking for Quade. Now he'll go back towards the corridor. Dangerous kick. McDermott's there for the Tigers. So's Urban. Tried to break through that tackle, but he's going nowhere. So we'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground. 20.5 minutes gone third term. 9-7-61 Balwyn. 7-5-47 Noble Park. Thanks for joining us for the Eastland match of the round, King's birthday weekend. Bowen Smith, clearing kick towards the half-forward line. Tillich again, couldn't quite take the mark. Did well to get rid of it in time. Bowen Smith barges through. Wrapped up by Dean Jones.
In the twinkling of an eye, Scoresby are out by 28, 8-7-55, Upper Gully 3-9-27.
Smith really starting to work his magic now. Lamotte, his kick was smothered. It's going to come back to Young. Oh, what a tackle by McDonald, holding the ball.
Too unselfish there by the Balwyn forward line there.
And what looked like an opportunity for Balwyn is now going to be turned into... Was it just the free kick or is it 25?
No, just a free kick.
Just a free kick.
Pretty much a goal-saving tackle almost.
It was, yeah. So, well, he's trying to look for the corridor initially, but he's going to go for Reardon. Over the top came Pollux. Created the contest and over the boundary line. Well killed.
I think Matt Fodia has managed to get the lights turned on somehow.
Ferntree Gully have blown the game open here over Fair Park. Ferntree Gully 7-8-50, leading Fair Park 3-7-25.
Back into play here at Balwyn Park. Thank you so much for joining us on EFNL Game Day. Turner caught in a tackle, was able to get the handball away, slimming, and now Rid across the ground. It's well marked. So Balwyn trying to change the angles. This is Tom Wilson. Held up all of a sudden and has to go down the line to Anderson. Over the top came McDonald. That was a handy punch. Creates the contest for Noble Park as they stop Balwyn's momentum forward. And will they end up with it? No. Well, they did. Dean Jones wrapped up in a tackle. And we'll get the ball up. Important contest by McDonald there, I feel.
He did very well.
So...
He's had a good game, McDonald.
Yeah, he definitely has. I've liked his ball use for the most part. Definitely has found some good targets inside forward 50 as we get a secondary stoppage.
Yeah, good contest between him and Bowen Smith this afternoon.
Yeah. Still the 14-point lead to the Tigers as they escape that contest. The stopper was there for Noble Park, however. Was able to feed the handball over the top. Whistle's gone.
Back to Noble, I think.
Yeah, it was indeed. So Jacob Noble will take it from here.
And he'll look to use that wing once more, clearing everyone's head and out of bounds.
Basin look home here, Ryan. Basin 12-4-76, up by 37 over Oakley District, 7-7-49.
Game over.
Yeah, massive result in context of the year.
So ball to be brought back into play here at Balwyn Park. It's 9-7-61 to 7-5-47. Tigers leading. Clearing kick from Turner. Was looking for Tillig. There's Fairbank. Almost went without it. Picked it up and straight away dragged to the ground by Bowen Smith. And we'll get a ball up, same spot. 24 minutes gone, third term. I'd like to get one back. The Bulls going into that three-quarter time break. Just to be able to stick with them. Scores were level halfway through this third term, but the last two goals have gone the way of Balwyn. The ball comes out, but now it's an inside 50 here for the Bulls. Big chance, Byford wanted to get a holding free kick, couldn't. Ball comes back out, Keane, handballs it back to Marson. They work this around and find the target in Molinaro. Molinaro, this is probably a little bit too far out, so looks through the corridor and hits up a target. That is beautiful delivery, and it gives Matthew Nelson a chance to bring the Bulls back.
If he kicks it, it'll be the sorry, Ryan. It'll be the 8th individual goal kicker for Noble Park.
Was this smart? Was this smart footy? And it was really good by Molinaro there, and Nelson gets a chance to finish off the play.
A lovely kick that gave the backman no chance whatsoever to spoil.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why they've improved their method and purpose during this game.
Can't ask for much more than that. So can Matthew Nelson finish off the good work? Be lining up 30 out, bit of an angle. Nelson has missed it. That's an opportunity gone begging.
Bad miss.
7-6-48. They trail Balwyn 9-7-61.
Well, no one's listened to me. No one has kicked the ball right because it's just carrying straight across.
He rushed that kick. He just needed to think his way through it.
Scoresby are up by 34 now.
Durden to send it to the wing. Anderson sets himself, couldn't take the mark. Crashing in was Tour, but couldn't impact the contest. So Kempson loops the handball over to Haley. Was able to work his way into some space to get the handball away. It's ended up with Charlie Clark. And I thought that was a push in the back there for the Balwyn forward.
Well, it's out of bounds on the full anyway, so they're going to...
Yeah.
must have just slipped over. It looked like it looked in the back the way he fell.
Yeah. So Charlie Clark will send it back inside forward 50 for the Tigers. The Flyers fly. Apostolou front and centre, gets the snap around. It was merely a centering kick and now trickles towards the pocket. Wilson was there, but the boundary beat him.
Yeah, score's been 9-7-61, now up by 34, leading Upper Gully 3-9-27.
61 to 48.
They've not kicked a goal since quarter time.
No.
Gully.
It's wild. So in we go again. Napa fell to ground. Who's going to clear this one? Is it Smith? No, beaten to it by Keane, but Keane was wrapped up. Good tackle by Oakes. Good forward pressure to create another stoppage.
Thought they could have been on the ball just about.
Can they pause something here, the Tigers? Can they get a goal from the stoppage?
27 minutes gone. One more goal in this quarter for Balwyn will certainly make a pretty comfortable buffer at three-quarter time. And they'll get their opportunity now because they're holding the ball free kick. Jamie Kempson means he'll have a set shot from just outside the arc.
It was a good tackle.
Donvale 16-4-100, leading Knox 4-4-28.
Blowout. There's Kempson here. Can be rewarded for his good work today. He's been a solid contributor for the Tigers. Bit of an angle on this kick, but certainly will test him from just outside the arc. That's a beautiful kick. If it holds, not quite. It's gone naturally quite far to the left in the end. So minor score 9-8-62 to 7-6-48.
Why was Charlie Haley punching that instead of just stopping it?
Good question. That one would have hurt Noble Park, but Balwyn unable to...
Bit of a let-off.
Yeah, put the pain on. So McDonald will bring this one back in. Napa the target. He's up against Silvani, but out the back was Molinaro. He gets upended, and Balwyn will end up with it. Urban out to Ritt. Tries to shrug the tackle. Couldn't quite, but got the handball away anyway. It's ended up with Turner now. Kick towards the forward line, but great contest. I think this is Josh Tour, and he outmanned Tillig quite effectively. Onto the wing now. Napa once more the target. Coming through was Marson. That was Jordan. Balwyn, I think, looked to end up with it. Great tackle on Turner. Good pressure by the Bulls in this contest. They're fighting against the boundary line as much as against each other, and the boundary line wins.
Some good work there by Marson, but good pressure by the Bulls to force that ball forward.
So throw in just forward of centre for the Tigers. Silvani took front position, but it went out the back. Kempson nearly ended up with it. Smith now at ground level. He's got help from Tillig as the siren goes. Noble Park looked to play on with it anyway. Just wanted to keep the game going. But it is three-quarter time here at Balwyn Park. The Tigers lead 9-8-62 to Noble Park 7-6-48. Thank you so much for joining us on FNL Game Day for this King's Birthday Clash. We'll be back with you after the three-quarter time break.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex.
The goals, your guys have found a way to get the score on the board back on your terms.
Yeah, the midfield's been a great battle today. Both sides are playing really well through the middle. Both rucks are having great games, and we've got a bit of a wind here in this last quarter, so hopefully we just don't blaze away. We can lower our eyes a little bit better.
Well, good luck in the last quarter. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks, boys.
Thank you very much, Scott. Brenton Sanson, always insightful, always good with this time too, as players will make their way to their positions.
And basically said, Jared, what we were alluding to just then before we crossed down. Yeah, they just need to lower their eyes a bit. You get a bit more overlap run and just get that ball nice and deep into their fine with their ball use.
Some quick scores, Brash.
Donvale 18-4-112, leading Knox 4-4-28. Scoresby 9-7-61, lead Upper Ferntree Gully 3-10-28, and Ferntree Gully 7-8-50, leading Fair Park 4-8-32.
The siren sounds to begin the final stanza of this game. Ryan Long to bring us in.
So back in the middle again. Have the Bulls got anything left in this game? Ritt got it off to Bowen Smith. Bowen Smith inside 50. This could be a very quick start. As Sam Durden's there in front and takes the mark and can put this margin out to 20 points if he kicks truly.
It's exactly what Balwyn wanted to win that opening clearance and move that ball
as well.
and move that ball very quickly. They got that mismatch very quickly.
The dead pushed forward and into the side today.
We can play at both ends.
Great
player.
Inclusion to have. Hopefully he'll be able to play his 3 games this year as he lines up and misses. So bit of a let off for the Bulls. That moves Balwyn to 9.963. Noble Park 7.648.
Especially after the passage of play. Should have finished the work there.
Definitely. It was emphatic from the stoppage. Bowen Smith and Alexander Urban both definitely.
Bowen's had a massive second half too.
They really have. Yeah, Smith especially. So Fairbank with the kick in. Is able to find Taborski. Hands it over to Quaife. Chaining up now, Stern. And the kick down the ground was just a little skinny and ended up over the line. So Balwyn were able to push it out to a 15-point lead. We're in a minute. We're a minute and a half gone in this final quarter. Noble Park, they're going to need to make their move soon, and McDonald might be a big part of that as he sends it forward. It was the one for the Flyers, and most of those are Balwyn, but comes to ground level. Keane scooped it up, and he gets the first for the term for the Bulls. Kevin Keane.
Well, I mean, we looked at the other end. You take your opportunities and you make the most of it. Balwyn didn't. Noble Park get their chance, and I think Silvani may have even spoiled that off his own teammate.
He did, and it's the momentum, boys. That's what happens. When you have momentum, you must make the best opportunity of it. And then on the kick out there, they just went the full length of the ground there and turned that into a goal. So that was what we call a coast-to-coast goal in the end, and the Bulls have made full use of it.
Back to 9 points again. It's been an interesting contest. Actually, Noble Park have kicked 6 of their 8 goals down that end of the ground, despite Balwyn having the wind here. Chevy Anderson now in the middle, looking to get it to Marshall. Reardon run into some trouble. Get the ball up back in the middle
Boundary.
of the ground as let's go down to the boundary line. Scott Hardy.
Yeah, and just further from that huddle and the chat with Brendan through that break, his main message was, do we want this more? And that'll be obviously evident in this next 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, that's exactly right as Urban got off to turn up. Turner's kick towards the half-forward flank. In fact, it will just roll out of bounds, and Noble Park trying to get that as a delivery call. You give it back, Stern. You're not getting that one.
Final score, the Basin 12-9-81 have defeated Oakley District 8-7-55.
Big win.
So ball brought back into play. Anderson and Napa go up. Ball comes out. McDonald, very quick, and now inside 50 towards the boundary side. Marson trying to keep this in. So is Pollux for the Tigers.
That's holding the ball.
Tackled across the line, and there will be a boundary throw in. 3 coming up to 4 minutes gone. Balwyn 9.963. Noble Park 8.654. Jared.
So Noble Park, they can work something from a stoppage. We've seen Anderson took front position against Reardon in the ruck. So that'll end up with another stoppage as Smith was tackled.
Come a long way in 7 days, Jared, after you predicted him not to kick a goal. The Basin.
Yeah. So
I had to mention it.
I think that was Bayswater I was talking about.
I thought, no, that was the Bayswater. So yeah, that was Bayswater. But the Basin, they've been questioned about their ability to kick goals too.
Intercept mark.
You bought yourself unstuck there.
Oh, Silvani was handballed it across the goal there as Noble Park was looking to threaten. Exasperated was McDermott. He didn't think he carried it over the line, but the umpire disagrees. And
what's going on here?
We heard the extra whistle, so just looks like something's going on in the goal square, and there's a yellow card.
Yellow card. Whoa.
And it looks to be Jordan Marson, I think.
Well, it's Silvani's free kick from the goal square. So he's got something to negotiate. We're just seeing the player run off the ground.
I think it's Marson, yeah.
That is a pretty big loss for Noble Park for the 15 minutes in the sin bin. Right, so they have it locked in their forward line at the moment, and it's Balwyn's task to negotiate their way out of that, and Silvani did not do a good job at that. Put it straight down the throat of Broderick. So Noble Park will send it back in, and the mark, just a juggler taken by Scott McInerney.
That's a ripper.
That was fantastic stuff. He was under so much duress there, and I thought Balwyn might have been able to at least neutralise that contest, but strong hands.
Oh, how many players have missed to the right of the right goal post?
Many.
Down this end of the ground.
McInerney to make himself the 9th individual goal scorer for Noble Park this game, and he will cut the lead to 3 points if he spears this one home. It's a floater and it's coming back,
but not
for
enough.
not enough indeed.
Nearly.
To the left side this time.
Just the 1 point.
You've got to take those though, you know what I mean?
Well,
big moments in games.
8-7-55, Noble Park. They're hanging in there. Balwyn 9-9-63. 6 minutes gone, final term.
Got to
Can
lock
they
it in now.
cause the boil over? Get a stoppage here in the middle as Fairbank not letting Oaks go anywhere. So it's been a real interesting contest today. Tap down from Chevy Anderson. Bowen Smith kicking it down the line, trying to keep this one in. It was Clark. Now Tillig. Tillig inside 50, one-on-one. Durden, too strong. Couldn't quite grab it, almost had it. Down at ground level, that is as deliberate as you like. Oh, no. And he was going nowhere else but the boundary line, and that is fair enough. Dean Jones and Charlie Haley, in fact, it will be Nathan Oakes will be taking it.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah.
It was just...
I thought Durden had just about had it, but here's Oakes on the boundary, around the corner.
Oh, he's put it through.
Oakes nails it. Balwyn moved to 10-9-69 to Noble Park 8-7-55. 14-point lead.
Yeah, just when those things happen, bad choice, just a bit of a brain fade in the end, and in the end, you just get paid back the other way. And Oakes made a big moment of it.
Boundary.
Let's go down the boundary.
And just that move with Sam Durden, that was the only one, sort of major one, and the boys got around it when Brenton sort of said he's going to go forward. He felt that the height for Noble's defence is quite small in comparison to theirs, so that's why the change to put him up forward and see if he could stick a mark probably.
I was watching Dan Jones. You can see from his body language how he felt about that. Smith tried to shark it from the centre. Urban to chase it. Noble Park will be able to stop this from happening. A free kick's been paid. It was too high. Scott McInerney takes advantage. So the kick towards the forward line. It wasn't handled well by Noble Park, but Stern was there for backup. McDonald, chipping kick. It's come to, sorry, it was Quaife and then Stern, and now Stern kicks the goal. What a response by Noble Park. Quick as a flash, and Balwyn weren't able to keep up with that one.
Back to 8 points. They won't go away. And
they won't. No.
That was well played by McInerney. Set up that goal with the way that he split that midfield open again, kicking the ball to position for Noble Park runners to come down that outside flank.
Great anticipation, wasn't it, Brash? Just the ability to be able to sum up the situation when he needed to.
So these games, though, King's birthday clashes between these two sides. It always lives up to expectations. We didn't think coming into today's game that it would be still in the balance. And 10 minutes into the last quarter, Noble Park moving this ball forward once again. And what's been, I don't know if there was there's a confusion, I think, from both sides. No mark paid to King, so the ball up outside the forward 50 of Noble Park. Trailing by 8 points, 9-7 to 10-9. Can they get within striking range? Ball going nowhere. Marshall can't get that one out, but they've been super impressive today, and Stern was just their first multiple goal scorer. They've had goals from across the board. Again, just being held up here.
But they've competed, and since quarter time, that's what they've had to do. I mean, first quarter, it didn't feel like they were competing enough.
So on the ball up, Urban took it, and the kick goes forward for Balwyn, but cut off immediately. And Noble Park will send it inside their forward line through Quaife.
25
metres. A man on the mark infringement by the looks of it, and this might give Lockie Quaife, a shot at goal.
No, he's still bringing it back, I think, boys. Back to the centre.
Whilst we got a quick moment, Domvale by 78, 18-4, 112, leading Knox 5-4, 34.
Could they win that game by 100 points?
Possibly not. I think
not with the time remaining.
No,
but close to it.
So this will be harder for Noble Park now with the set defence from Balwyn and the height they have down there, and that's exemplified by the punch over the top that sent it right over the boundary line, and we'll have a stoppage in the Bulls forward 50. Still an 8-point game. 11 minutes gone in this final quarter. King's Birthday Clash action. Urban now. As I think that's Slimming. Oh, his kick was wayward, under a lot of pressure, and the mark's been taken by McInerney. Can he line up?
Tell you what, he's been good all day, McInerney.
Yeah, he's fought hard.
He's been exceptional.
So he's had a couple of shots at goal throughout the day, missed them both. Third time's the charm for McInerney. Oh, it's floating away and hits the post. Oh.
Not a bad attempt.
I still reckon hitting the post should be 9 points.
Oh, the old wizard cut.
Well, it's just there's so much more space to get a goal.
That's 3 behinds for him this afternoon, McInerney.
So, taking the kick in, margin back to now 6 points. I think we've got the wrong score up on the scoreboard as Tilly. And there's been, I hope that didn't come through the to the mic.
Nice
and it is 25-metre penalty here in favour of Balwyn. Looks like there's a bit of dissent on the field and on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you heard it,
yeah,
it was there.
Okay, Tilly, apologies to those at home who heard that one. The gentleman behind the fence is Balwyn back inside attack. Opportunity for them now. The handball quickly getting away to Byford, and so
Ryan quickly scores be 9-10, 64. Look home against Upper Gully 3-12-30 in Fair. Parker coming 6-11, 47 trailing up Furniture Gully 8-10, 58.
We'll keep an eye on that one as the ball brought back into play out here at Balwyn Park. McDonald missed it. Fairbank got the handball over the top. Here's Bowen Smith again. Goes backwards, couldn't find his target. And Pearce as that goes out of bounds. Just Scott Hardy's on the boundary line. Look up at have a look at the scoreboard. Just want to make sure we've got the right score as well.
Yeah, so it's Balwyn 10-9-69 to Noble 9-8-62.
Beautiful. We are correct.
Seinfeld 69. Lemon chicken.
I'm not sure what's going on, but Smith is able to get the kick away. It wasn't paid a mark to Tillig, so he found the handball option backwards. Durden's the target in the goal square. Running with the flight of the ball, he makes sure of it this time.
Balwyn have proven if they can get the ball into their forward 50, they've definitely got the mismatch with Durden here.
Yeah, they have, and that was just a little bit of experience by Durden to be able to know where to be.
Was always going to kick the goal from there. So Sam Durden puts his first on the board in Balwyn colours.
I think it's the most excited I've heard the Balwyn crowd all afternoon.
And they stretch the lead to 13 points. It might be a bit of relief for them. I know they
Boundary.
still have a task, but Scott Hardy on the boundary line.
I'm not too sure it's going to go, but it's just started to rain just a little bit. So keep that brolly handy.
Got an umbrella down there, though.
Lee's got one up there that's apparently really good.
You've got no protection where you are right now. I haven't looked at you on the
Real open down here. Get a shed down here for me.
Apparently the umbrella's good. Apparently.
So back in the middle. Have Noble Park got one more response in him.
Body slam
from Keane. 14.5 minutes gone final term. 11-9-75 Balwyn. 9-8-62 Noble Park. They've been brave, the Bulls, but Balwyn are probably one goal away from breaking this one and continuing their 4-game winning streak and making it 5.
Well, they've been pushed all afternoon, Balwyn, so they'll take the win here if they can maintain the momentum.
4 points will be all that matters for them as Wilson towards the corridor. Tillig out the back, falling in the hands to Borski. The mark is paid to Nelson. Nelson, centre wing. Hasn't got much options, so short kick forward. And Broderick. Harry Broderick, inside 50, good kick. Spoiled from behind by McDermott, doing very well. Big tackle applied. Ball comes out to Byford, who has the snap towards the goal, and just a minor score, maybe a handy point. 9-9-63 Noble Park, trailing Balwyn by 2 goals now, 11-9-75. 15.5 minutes gone, final term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
The Bulls have to lock it in here. Will they be able to do this? I believe Jamie Pollux, I think it was, with the kick-in duties. So up they go, trying to juggle the mark with Smith. It came off hands, and now the handball was an aggressive one. They've got space to run into, but Noble Park shut that down immediately. Riordan to Broderick, and now to Nelson. They're sharing it round. Riordan knocked off the ball. Bouncing ball by McDonald. A kick inside forward 50. Good spoil defensively by Stern. Snap around the body is just going to fade over the boundary line.
Not a bad result.
Stoppage, yeah.
They'll take that, Noble Park.
They're moving the ball very quickly.
That intensity was great.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Noble Park, they aren't going to die wondering this game. Steve Hughes' men have the hunger, but do they have the efficiency when going forward? Jones in the ruck against Silvani. 0-0 draw, trying to fight for it was Broderick at ground level. McInerney couldn't handle it. And now it's come out to Haley, scooped up, Tillig. Oh, it's a race on in the forward 50 for Balwyn. It's Durden again. Can he get the second? He's got Noble for company. But it was an open goal. And Sam Durden may have just made sure of the game for Balwyn. And Noble Park, it's spilling over here as the fracas continues. Oh, it's looking ugly. Gee. So to update you on the scores, it's Balwyn 12-9-81 to Noble Park 9-9-63, 17.5 minutes gone in the final quarter. As it is starting to, the feeling starting to brim over the top here.
Goal umpire nearly had to jump over the fence to wave his flags.
Just trying to work out what Oaks was signalling with his hands there.
Fair Park have got it back to a goal. It's Furtree Gully 8-11-59. Fair Park 7-11-53. Could there be a draw again between these two teams?
Yeah, maybe 81-63 here. Balwyn leading. Cherry Anderson went without it. The handball over the top from Reardon. Reed spying around. We'll get a ball up. Centre half forward for Noble Park. Been plenty of feeling in this game between the two sides. They've got a rich history.
Yeah, but they've
I
just
like it.
lost their composure. The Bulls have just been a little bit undisciplined in the last 10 minutes.
Turn up, back in towards the middle of the ground. Tillig. And we're going to do it all again. We'll get a ball up in the middle.
It's turned out to be a bit of a Dow struggle in the second half at Knox Recreation Gardens. Domvale 18-412, Knox 7-4-46.
Urban towards Charlie Haley, almost took it. Tillig so strong, got the handball away. Now a chance at Taborski to get this one out. Fairbank. And Fairbank's kick is out of bounds on the full.
He's tried to kick that to Scott Hardy.
Kane Turner reminds him about it. There's Slimming, long into attack. Durden's there, out of the back. Oh, he's marked it, Noble. He had slipped over and the ball went straight into his lap. Durden said fair enough.
And you can tell the Noble fans are all down right below us, so I might have to turn the Atmos down a little bit.
Yeah, might just go off.
Quaife over to Broderick. Noble Park are going to need to move things really quickly here if they're going to keep hope alive in this game, but that's not what they were able to do. Pollux comes across and takes the intercept mark. As Balwyn, the hush falls over the ground. Or is that just the atmosphere?
No, it's actually, they stopped.
So Sam Durden, the target again. Noble out the back once more. Tour is able to feed the handball out, but Broderick was running out of room. And we'll get another ball in Balwyn's forward 50. We're in time on right now as Balwyn still lead 81-63.
It's turned up the heat, the Tigers, in the last 5 or so minutes, 5-10 minutes.
Indeed. Reardon was able to feed the handball out, but Smith was first to it. Still, Taborski ends up with it. Noble Park feeding it out. Reardon with an aggressive handball. Hopeful. What a kick off the ground by Anderson, and the mark in the middle was taken.
Now that's Lux of fortune there.
So slimming it was. Finds the option in Urban, and he's going to run past for the handball. Kick it to Apostolou. And Broderick was out of the contest in that one, couldn't do much about it. And I think Balwyn will be able to breathe pretty easily if Apostolou nails this one, and his second for the game.
Yeah, just the big moments in this last quarter, they've just a bit more calmer, use their composure a bit more, the Tigers.
So Apostolou, he's going to kick it from a little bit beyond the arc by the looks of it. He comes in, and it's a spearing ball, and there it is. Balwyn will be the victors on the King's birthday clash. And Noble Park fought a brave fight, but in the end, the class has shone through. And the Tigers, the reigning premiers.
Well, yeah, I think if you look at it, really, it's probably quite similar to what they've done most games this season in their wins. They've been able to grind them out. They haven't been overly dominant in any of their performances, been challenged each week and just find a way to get away late, and they've done that. There's the rain starts to pour down, and on cue, Scott Hardy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it started to, you might not have many sound effects. Everyone's gone back behind me now under the shed, so it's starting to get a lot heavier now.
I don't know what that little shed is behind you there. I don't know who's using that.
It's the interchange, umpire's interchange.
I'd maybe make friends with them as Urban got the handball away and they go inside 50 again. The Tigers, the kick was a bit of a dribbling ball inside. Charlie Haley still somehow finds a way to get through, but this time going nowhere. So ball up.
And I would go down there. I would go down there, Ryan, but the mics don't like it any further than this, so I'm stuck here.
Fair enough. As Napa got the tap down, McInerney. The handball away to McDonald. McDonald just wanted to get rid of it.
It's another one for Scott Hardy.
Over the fence.
That is into the tennis court.
Into the canteen.
No, it's
on the tennis court.
It's bypassed the canteen. It's
it actually has gone into the tennis court. So
that's going to take a little bit. There is people playing, but
I can see half a dozen people just. Actually, there must be someone playing down there. Someone's waving to them.
I've got a new ball.
Got a new one on.
Scores we look home here: 10-10-70 over Upper Ferntree Gully, 4-12-36. Donvale 19-5, 119. Lead Knox 7-4-46.
Balwyn here 13-9, 87 to Noble Park, 9-9-63, 4-goal lead.
Is that full?
That kick is out of bounds on the full.
And so just repeating.
That's no stat, Charlie.
Just repeating, Ryan, the Basin 12-9-81 have defeated Oakley District 8-7-55.
It's a massive win, isn't it, for the Basin?
Tore out of defence. Mark taken by Jones.
Kick 1 goal 2 weeks ago, and then you win against a good team this week.
Jones towards centre half forward. Flying back to take the mark was Young. There's a short option.
Time wasting out.
And with 23.5 minutes gone, they were happy just to chip this ball around for a little bit. Urban sliding into that mark.
So Balwyn to just, slow things down, as we've said. Alex Urban played more than a handy game. Lamotte presents. Takes the mark on the second grab. Looking for options now. Can they find another couple of goals? Charlie! Here he is. No, just overawed by Tua, but it was a free kick.
You can't do the front on.
Nah.
So
his eyes were not on the ball.
Haley, he's kicked 8 goals for the year. He's not gotten one yet today.
He's been well held today, Charlie. He's really had...
Checkside Charlie, and it's party time for Balwyn. They move to 93, Noble Park 63. It's a 5-goal lead as the rain starts to tumble.
They've just been able to turn up the gears, haven't they, in this quarter, and Noble just haven't been able to go with them the last 10 to 15 minutes. It's just, the cream's come to the top when they've really needed to, and they've been a bit frustrated, the Bulls, but they put up a pretty good fight for most of the afternoon, but in the end, just been overpowered.
Yeah, of course, there's that margin now at 5 goals. Still a bit more crowd involvement. We'll get a ball up back in the middle of the ground. Consecutive 14-9-93 Balwyn. So Noble Park 9-9-63 will be their 5th win in a row. McDonald clearing kick towards the boundary line. They try and mop this one up through Reardon. Molinaro, it's out of bounds on the full.
Gee, how important was that goal that McInerney missed? Since that moment in time, they've just lost all their momentum.
Yeah, that was
Noble
the
Park.
momentum swinger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Feel bad for Scotty out here. He's been okay for most of the day, and then the rain starts to hit us late. And they're happy just to chip it around.
Got a final at Scoresby. They've won 10-10-70 to Upper Gully 4-12-36 after giving a 4-goal start.
Yeah, impressive stabilisation by the Magpies. Unfortunate for the Kings, is not their birthday.
No, and the Gully have gone 2 goals up, 9-11-65 to Fair Park, 7-11-53.
Oh, strong mark by Durden. He could have a shot at this one, I think. And this will be his 3rd goal if he's able to work this one out. So, Sam Durden, the former North Melbourne and Carlton player in the AFL. Experience with Box Hill Hawks in the VFL as well. And that's who he's been playing with this year. He's a great option up forward, and it was a good move by Sanderson to put him there in this final stages of the game. Look at that. Oh, beautiful kick. And they get around him. Popular man at Tigerland, Sam Durden.
How handy would it be if you have this guy available in a grand final in the last quarter?
Well, when you think about what they've got, you know, like imagine if they had Walker, Durden, all playing at the Silvani, all playing at the one time. I mean, pretty imposing team. But Durden, he's been terrific going forward in this quarter and has really impressed himself on the game. So,
well, Brenton Sanderson did say to keep an eye on him, and that he looks
good
like,
reason to.
Yeah.
I said a number of weeks ago he would be important, but he certainly stepped up in this quarter and done well.
That's right. So we're approaching full time out here at Balwyn Park. 28 minutes gone final term. Balwyn 15-9-99 to Noble Park 9-9-63. It was 7 points in the early stages of this quarter. They look to get one back, Noble, towards the top of the square. O'Rourke's there. Fighting hard for that, Marshall, over the boundary line.
Boundary.
Let's go down the boundary, Scott Hardy.
Brash, you're generally good with your times. How much longer do I have to stand out here? We're at 28 minutes here.
3 minutes, I reckon.
About a minute and a half, mate.
All right.
Less than a minute and a
It's
half.
that awkward time. I can't run up and get the umbrella because I need to interview some people afterwards.
I think it's the first quarter definitely only went for 24 minutes.
Do you want me to javelin it?
I was going to say that.
So out of defence, Red. Sport had been kept in. Balwyn going to be pinged here for holding the ball free kick.
It's amazing to think that Durden's not on an AFL list. He's still got some qualities.
Final at the Gully, Wally Chew. Ferntree Gully have outlasted Fair Park 9-11-65 to Fair Park 7-11-53.
Wilson wrapped up and get a ball up outside the forward half for Noble Park. Still a lot of positives to take out of today for the Bulls.
Absolutely.
Well, definitely.
After what I saw 2 weeks ago at Vermont, the performance between Noble Park of that side 2 weeks ago today is chalk and cheese.
Oh, this has 2 or 3 more wins for the season on it if they can bring this most weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely looking positive at the Bull Ring after this performance. So Silvani got the tap down, came to Marshall though. Quaife, his kick was smothered. Kane Marshall followed up. High ball inside forward 50. Pollux or boundary line, either way. So Josh Pollux, one of the ins today for Balwyn, always.
And been good.
Yeah, good intercept defender for sure. One of the best in the division, I would say. Noble, it fell out the back for him. Tillich taps it along the ground. Clark is going to go for it, but beaten to it, however, by Nelson. Nelson lost it, and Balwyn will have another shot at goal. Kempson has missed.
Been good today, Kempson. A couple of times hasn't quite finished off in front of goal, but has been damaging through the midfield.
He's still a work in progress.
He's still got a lot of upside in his ability, I think.
So,
oh dear,
not long. That's an interesting kick and falls into the lap of Balwyn Smith, who has plenty of options, and one of them is Kempson again. So he'll have another chance at putting one through before the final siren. 15-10, 100 Balwyn to Noble Park, 9-9-63. Deserves a goal for his hard work today, and
he's come back in the side this week after best on last week in the reserves or development side.
So Kempson, it will be a tough kick with it, particularly with the rain now. A little bit heavier, the ball a bit more slippery as Kempson on the siren from outside the arc, gets onto it, and there's your icing on the cake. Kempson puts one more on the board for Balwyn, and they move to 16-10, 106 to Noble Park, 9-9-63, and that is your full-time score out here at Balwyn Park.
Well, in the end, it was just the class of Balwyn that prevailed. They're going to be, once again, they were challenged for 3 quarters, but like good sides do, they find a way to get the job done, and they've got so many weapons across so many lines.
And so many gears, Brush. They can step it up when they really needed to, and that's what they did in the last quarter. They got challenged throughout the course of the day, and then they took their game to another level. Durden, stepped up in the last quarter after going forward, but their midfield all day, worked really well, and it was in the end they got the job done.
And it's one of those cases where I feel the margin doesn't necessarily justify the fight that Noble Park put up. As we said, it was 7 points at some point in the final quarter, very early on, and then it just sort of blew out.